and welcome to the SmackDown Preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Michael Hamflett from WhatCulture, here to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review SmackDown, but also the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
We had the Backlash preview last week, so today we are here to talk about all the fallout from Backlash.
Have you got...
And we've only got 3 episodes of 3 hours left.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
This week, next week, week after. If reports are to be believed that the start of June is when it goes back to 2.
Thank God. It has been a rough old road. Have you got still on the soundboard the button, the Matt Striker button from the old quiz days?
Oh, I don't think so, actually.
All right.
The Graps is going to be good, that one.
Graps is going to be... The Graps are good or something like that. It's okay if you don't. I wanted it as a contrast because I was going to say the...
you think... Is this it?
Does he have no conscience? Does he have no heart? Do you have no soul? You son of a bitch!
I said a button, a Matt Striker saying something, not a button about Matt Striker. The Graps are good, but the omens, Wilbourn, I am afraid, are bad.
Ooh.
We are here, as we always do on a Friday, apart from the last month or something, to talk about the blue brand.
Oh my God.
And for those not watching on video, and at this point, come on, catch up, guys. But for those that typically
Listen
just
on audio as well, because we need
do
to
both the numbers. Wilbourn can
top 3 podcast. Do you want to know who's beating us?
Yes.
Do you want to guess?
Deadman.
No.
Ariel Helwani.
Sit down.
Boxing.
No.
Oh.
Both legitimate.
Ah, okay. One of the Conrad ones.
No.
Cornet.
No.
Oh. Are they, well, first and foremost, they're based in the UK?
No.
Right. So just to clarify then, we're the number 1 UK-based wrestling podcast, and we don't even have a sticker on the front saying so.
No, and of course.
One of the only professional wrestling podcasts that's actually worth a
Well, an AEW wrestler would say that. Not for everyone.
Friend of the channel and less so friend of the channel.
Got it. Friend of the channel, Benno, lesser friend of the channel, and Hamflett, it's in your house.
No, dear, that's wrong.
We must be 400. It's really good, though. There's a new episode. New episode dropping this Sunday. We're doing Good Friends, Better Enemies. Sean versus Diesel. Friend of the channel, Chris Van Vliet.
bingo!
Number 2. Doing lots of great interviews at the moment. Well, always does lots of great interviews. I shouldn't just say that. Number 1.
Not Cornet. Not Conrad. It's not Busted Open.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Thank God, because I'd have gone off on a rant.
Someone who maybe have taken this because they're new to the podcasting game. Maybe they took inspiration from us. And they've in terms of the podcast world, I think they've brought style and grace.
Stephanie McMahon.
Bingo!
Welcome, Stephanie.
Your stay, presumably, like everybody else's, will be short.
What are you doing? You dressed as the bloody Undertaker wearing his wings. Oh, it's Steph.
That's not fun. Or worse, it's my wife. My wife, Stephanie McMahon. Yeah, if you're not watching on video, catch up. But also listen to the audio. Wilbourn's right. The omens, mate, are bad. We come together on a Friday to talk about the blue brand. That's right, Chesterfield. Shout out Leengate Valves, Leigh Pickering.
Shout out, Leigh.
Great to see you on both sides of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
In 2025. Loved seeing you at the live show as much as I did in Chesterfield. Get well soon, Leigh. However, my best friend Matt Rains has been noticing a playoffs trend this week. Following the some people are calling it the greatest moment in playoff history, which is nice because prior to that, people say Charlton beating Sunderland is one of the greatest moments in playoff history. So it's nice to be on the easy side of that ledger for a change. Dan Ballard's late winner on Tuesday night against Coventry City and Sunderland's victory over Coventry was then followed by, I believe it was Charlton beating Wickham. Fair. And also Leyton Orient defeating Stockport. What do those 3 games have in common?
I'll let you reveal this because it's made me real sad.
Yeah. Those games featured teams that play in red, defeating teams that play in blue. You tonight are playing Walsall, who play in
red
and carry with them a 2-0 lead from the first leg, which gives it...
And they're at home.
Uphill battle. Well, that sometimes, I can speak from experience, that sometimes can make the situation a bit nervier. But you need to be a bit of a coupon buster tonight, not just with the 2-0 advantage, but with this red-blue ass thing going on this week.
I'm not feeling hugely confident, but it's kind of nice. I feel a lot less like I was desperate for us to make the playoffs, but I knew once we got there, especially as the last team, I know we've been playing really well, and I know it's like an uptick at the end of the season because we've had a lot of injuries and what have you, but we were expected to be up there by the end of the season. Their goalkeeper had an incredible game in the first leg.
The pressure is off.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm going into it going, well, at least I get to, because obviously at regular time, I don't get to see a lot of Chesterfield games. We went to it, of course. Eric went to his first game as well. But it is one of those things where regularly I don't get to see a lot of Chesterfield games. But tonight I will settle down, join the Legends Lounge, crack a beer and watch Chesterfield. Yeah, like you say, with a bit of pressure off. If we lose... That's fine. We were expected to lose. Season's finished. All in all, a good season. First season back in League Two to finish, 7th? Is good stuff. And our squad looks really good if we can hold on to the right people during the summer. Then again, we score first and early. It's the hope that kills you.
It's a vibe shift then, isn't it?
Yep.
Speaking of the playoffs, it is all happening. And speaking of being able to watch at a time that you can't always.
Yeah.
A bit of an update on the playoffs. The NBA playoffs, of course, is instead of an F, it's a W.
Yeah.
Myself and Phil find ourselves on the precipice of going into the conference finals. So that's teams from the West, teams from the East. I kind of turns out I was a ball knower all along. Basketball, that is. I think that might be the ball they're referring to in the ball knowers thing. We didn't pick these teams based on geography. We picked them based on names and colours and funny stuff.
Brilliant.
And it just turns out that if the Denver Nuggets can get past my beloved Oklahoma City Thunder, then we have a conference final of Phil versus Fed on the West and Phil versus Fed on the East. Because on... I forget. So basically,
what's going on with the Celtics and the Knicks?
That's going to game 7.
Oh my God.
It's either going to game 7 or the Knicks have pulled it back to 3-2 and it's game 6 tonight.
I'll look it up.
Might be game 6. So the Knicks can still get it done, but I think it might be game 6 tonight. But definitely from being 3-1 up, the Oklahoma City Thunder could have thrown it all away. So I'm sort of rooting against my own team here because I would like the drama in the final. I don't really want an all-Fed final.
No.
You want one of each, ideally.
Yeah.
So as I say, actual fans of the teams will want their team to succeed. We, however, thanks to Brian's amazing graphics, want to see both our faces in the grand final. So that's Sunday as well. And then we've also worked out that if you were to make the playoff finals, over the same weekend, you would be playing in the League 2 playoff finals. Sunderland would be playing the Championship playoff finals. Newcastle United would be playing Sidgwick's team, and Nicholas's team, would be playing to get into the Champions League in the Premier League.
In those spaces, yeah.
And Murray will be watching Aberdeen playing the Scottish Cup final. And Ewan will be travelling to Liverpool to see them lift the trophy because all their work is done. They're the best. Statistically, they are the best. The rest of us get to scramble around for crumbs. Football's crumbs. That could all be over the course of one weekend.
Wow.
And I think that concludes the tangent.
Oh, and just to point out, that weekend there's also quite a lot of wrestling. Saturday night's main event NXT Battleground. You grounded! Battlegrounded! But ma'am, you're not a winner. And Double or Nothing. I genuinely forgot for a split
I thought you were
second
doing a bit of that and nothing else. That's what some channels have, I believe.
Anyway.
Press the football button now if you want.
Oh, yeah, sorry, you need to do the out. Of course, where are our manners?
Nicely done. Shall I bring up the list? Because the football tangent may be over, but the tangents are not.
I have it.
Oh, you got it.
If I think that's what you're talking about, because those who are regular watchers of the SmackDown preview know the main thing we like to talk about isn't SmackDown, it's the Traitors.
Correct.
And the Celebrity Traitors lineup has dropped. It goes down in the autumn, in the fall of this year. And joining Claudia Winkleman.
Oh my God.
That's not anything disgusting. That is genuine appreciation for one of the greatest presenters in television history.
I love Claudia Winkleman.
You have the likes of Charlotte Church, who's a singer/activist, it says here.
Yeah. She set up her own school, I think.
Fair play. Alan Carr's going to be in it, the comedian. Joe Wilkinson, the comedian.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
The bearded guy.
Jonathan Wass.
We'll do out him now, won't he?
Kate Garraway, the broadcaster. Paloma Faith.
The singer who sings like this. It's not about Paloma Faith, is it?
No. Stephen Fry.
Reduced the whole thing to a bit. Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry's in it. He'd be a
What's
great traitor.
What's it in this for, yeah?
And someone who may well take a dive early on in the series. Tom Daly, the Olympian.
It's good, yeah.
Author, broadcaster, and entrepreneur.
Hey, Tom Daly?
He's got all four, yeah.
He's
He's got all four pillars.
His confectionery hand is made up of all different jobs.
Who
invented the skip?
Claire Balding to get it. I like Claire Balding.
TV presenter, sports TV presenter.
It's going to be tasty.
Big names.
Got to get Stephen Fry to be the traitor, right?
Do you reckon? Is that not like an easy win for the show to have him?
Well, you got to pick someone actually who, Stephen Fry probably will be the voice of reason throughout all this, and maybe not him. He's quite a good one for them to suspect, and it'd be like, leave Stephen alone. You need, I think, someone like Tom Daly, beloved Olympian gold medalist, inspiration, little sneaky bastard killing people in their sleep.
Yeah, could see that. I really could. I need somebody to be sat in the little chair speaking to the camera saying, I've got a lack of faith in Paloma. So wordplay to consider.
It's more than only love that can hurt like this. You've been killed.
That's what they put in the note.
I interviewed Paloma Faith back in
I was
the day.
just going to ask you if you didn't. She's right in the epicenter.
And kind of got sold down the river by the old label, because I'm a big fan of Paloma Faith. Incredibly talented woman.
Is she a nice person?
Bit kooky, yeah, but like quirky, isn't she?
Yeah.
And the label were like, she's bloody weird. Ask her some proper weird questions. So I did, and she clearly was just like, kind of want to talk more about the music.
Plug the record.
Yeah. And I was like, absolutely. Sorry, it was not my place to say, if you were a breakfast cereal, what would you be?
If you were a breakfast cereal, Wilbourn, what would you be?
I think I have to be one of those ones that are incredibly bad for you.
Yeah.
Is it Captain Crunch? Who have the like marshmallows in it?
Yes. I mean, like, it's Route 1, but like I'm right there with Frosties.
Yeah.
You've got the blue box.
That's Tony Khan's favourite. Yeah, Tony Khan actually on the box of Frosties is a very good.
Yeah.
They're great.
They're great. You jump out of bed. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I've
got a BuzzFeed What Cereal Are You quiz if you want to do it.
I do want to do it. In America, that's one of the rare occasions where we've sort of Americanized it in a way they haven't. So, like, we have Frosties. They have Frosthead Flakes. Like, I don't know why they're complicated. If anything, that's normally our thing. I'll take a bowl of those Frosted Flakes, please.
Flakes.
Yeah. I'd love this BuzzFeed quiz, please.
Okay, pick a bear. Your options are Berenstein bears, koala bear, polar, panda, brown bear, black bear, Ted, or
Ted. Is Ted the one that, like, smokes doobies and says Is that the Ted? Is that
yeah,
Ted?
he's class, isn't he? And the one from the Muppets whose name escapes me right.
Fozzie. I'll take, like, in tribute to our friend who, when we do Ladies' Night, is in charge of the...
Dada.
I'll take Panda.
Okay.
After Panda Blair himself.
Pick a rappers and cereal. Right, it doesn't help that they've not actually put the names on this. Oh, wow. You've got...
You can lift out the cancelled ones if you want.
What? There's Two Grains, Frosted Drakes, Snoop Loops, Luda Crisp, Kanye Checks.
Hang on. Wait. Sorry, just go back a second. I'm not picking the Kanye one. Good Lord.
Especially because it's Chex. What's it called? Chex Mix?
Chex Mix. Do you say, was it Snoop Loops?
Snoop Loops.
Fruit Snoops.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, BuzzFeed.
Mackle S'mores.
WhatCulture stole all our stuff from you. You shouldn't have to take it from us. Mackle S'mores is good.
Rice Rickies. That's Rick Ross.
Okay, yeah. These are bad.
Wheezies. Nicki Minaj.
Right.
It just says packs with a picture of Tupac.
Okay. I quite like, was it Snap Cracklemore or something?
Mackle S'mores.
Mackle S'mores. That's still quite good. I'll take Mackle S'mores.
Okay. Pick and Wham. Right. I don't know who I can tell you the names of the people I'm looking at.
Okay.
But a lot of them I don't know. Oh, God, it's got the worst woman history on it. The one from the Gilmore Girls. I hate her.
I'm probably going to end up picking her. I love Lorelai Gilmore.
Her.
Yeah.
That racist one. Marge Simpson.
She's racist.
No. What's her name? Roseanne Barr, is it?
Oh, yeah. She's pretty racist.
Sofia Vergara from
Modern
Family, Arrested Development, Mime, a few others. Don't know, just pick one from them. Lorelai Gilmore is the worst character in the history of television.
Just to spite him, and because I completely and wholly disagree, I'm going to take Lorelai Gilmore.
No one, to steal a phrase from Simon Miller, no one talks like that.
It's true.
No wonder people leave you all the time. Jesus Christ.
The whole point of the Gilmore Girls is just to imagine that could be a place. Stars Hollow could be a place.
Oh, God, I'd literally...
Burn it down.
Yeah. Burn it to
all.
the ground. You're a cereal box. What do your nutrition facts say? 99% cholesterol, 50 grams of flawless, vitamin D,
Stacks it, that one, isn't it?
40 fluid ounces, dietary fibers, not a joke, 100% trans fat, pH fat, vitamin Queen B.
That's good.
Daily percent values based on a 10,000 calorie diet, don't judge me, or 0 milligrams of given.
Don't judge me, 10,000 calories a day diet. Yeah.
Pick a milk. 2%. Milkshake, skim, hemp, not expired, chocolate milk, soy, whole milk, buttermilk.
Americans don't have semi-skimmed, do they?
Nah.
Semi-skimmed, pasteurized green milk, they don't have it.
No.
Is 2% their version of that?
I think
because
so.
they have whole and they have skimmed.
Yeah.
2% must be the middle for Dill, mustn't it? I'll take 2%.
Okay. Pick a Ryan Gosling won't eat his cereal gif.
Excuse me?
It's that bloke when he used to show clips of Ryan Gosling films, put his spoon near the screen. I think that's the one from Drive.
You like Drive? We'll take the Drive.
It's one of the greatest films of all time. After a really bad day, all you want to do is get into your pajamas. Or get into someone else's, probably. Dance it out, vodka. Bad day. This might be give a clue what it's trying to lead you towards. Bad day, question mark. Everything's great. Cry into a pillow, watch TV, call your mom, swear, or eat a lot of ice cream.
There's no option to eat cereal there.
No.
Watch TV.
Pick a spoon.
Okay.
Right. It says on these, they've all got different words on these, and they're very good stuff. Cereal lover. All you need is love and more coffee.
Oh, God, I hate them. Oh, man.
Serial killer.
Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee.
Serial killer, but not like, people.
Yeah.
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
What could that one be trying to stay towards?
Be a Fruit Loop in a world full of Cheerios. Weapon of mass consumption.
Spoon.
Calories don't count on this spoon. Get in my belly. Or eat clean, train dirty, which is kind of what I live by.
I'll go with eat clean, train dirty. That's sort of how I roll.
Dirty.
Eat dirty, train clean.
You are Tricks. Tricks are for kids. Good thing you'll always be one at heart. You can always watch Saturday morning cartoons whilst eating your cereal. Life's good.
And that brings us back to the preview, because when I'm eating a cereal on a Saturday morning...
Tricks. Eat that tricks.
Because on a Saturday morning, when I'm eating my cereal, what am I watching? SmackDown. See, it was all related the whole time.
Let's talk about SmackDown 20 minutes in.
Brian asks us about Taskmaster. He's watching the UK version because we talk about that, and he's angry because, well, he's not angry, he just made a point that there's an American comedian on it. It's like, you crazy Mr. Bean looking ass has already run out of comedians? Well, I actually quite like the American guy on it. I forget his name, I think he's an actor. But I'm too into this series. You watching Taskmaster at the moment?
No, I've not seen this.
There's American fella, he's on the panel. I forget his name. He's all right. I'm okay with it, Brian. I don't mind it. I don't know if on American Taskmaster you have British media. I forgot to speak. Comedians.
Yeah, that's the word.
I couldn't not put a
commies. Goddamn commies.
Comedians. I couldn't put like a flat O sound in there. It was like my brain was like, yeah, but you've done the com bit. Then what happens?
What next?
British comedians.
Sound it out, Michael.
I think the guy's fine. I'm enjoying it. Taskmaster is really, really lovely. It's like junk food telly, but you know, when every now and then you get a takeaway. And the burgers, like, they've used brioche. I don't even really like brioche, but they've tried to posh it up a bit, you know, needlessly so. That's Taskmaster.
Shove in your face all of this food. Eat it right now. It tastes so good. Shove it in your mouth and burp and swallow.
Burp it through.
There.
Is that anything?
What now for John Cena and R-Truth? They've got quite the task on their hands with this one.
That's reasonable stuff. Right, I was thinking about this because I was kind of going off on a rant on the Backlash review that, like, it was a real waste of the heat to have him do that in a virtually empty room instead of in front of a crowd who have got, like, incredible sympathy for R-Truth. Then I thought about it. Is it because they didn't want to use one of John Cena's dates on it?
Good point. You can't have many. They're like 25 odd or something.
Yeah.
I'll Google it whilst you're talking.
All he does in these dates is turn up to television, have a verbal joust, and then take somebody's finisher. And you can't really do that with
24.
24. Beep boo, beep boo. I was thinking the day's going to beep boo, beep boo, beep boo, beep boo, beep boo, beep boo. Let's get there.
Yeah.
Too long. Arguably not long enough. I would have this week John Cena be nowhere near television and R-Truth selling the injuries. Somehow thinking John Cena's still an all right guy.
Yeah.
You need to...
He was a bit het up. It was all...
He's done it now. The first attack was ultimately always going to be the worst, but they have the opportunity, because the R-Truth character allows for him to try and justify Cena's behaviour to the likes of Jimmy Uso, for example.
Where are they taking this to? Saturday night's main event? Or?
Yes, Saturday night's main event, and no far further on from that either. You've got Jey Uso versus Logan Paul for the title. It's fine TV stuff.
Oh, CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker.
Oh my God.
That's the match with some heft.
And potentially we'll talk about Nia in a bit too.
Yep, they could book that on as well. And there's a little bit of law. A little bit of law. A lot of people forget this.
A little bit of law, we can make it through the night.
Ta-na-ni, 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 ta-na-ning-ting boy.
Ta-na-ni, 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 tiny con.
That's made it wrestling.
Yeah.
Like that. Bad baseline. Hollow with the rinsed sound. Hollow with the rinsed sound. Hollow with the rinsed sound. Love that song.
Yeah.
Who was it? And it used to have this sort of
Did
stuff.
you look MC Neat?
Yes, of course it was.
Which one are we?
I'm DJ Lux. I'm just lucky to be here.
Yeah, and I'm MC Neat because I keep things all nice and together on the podcast.
Correct.
And stop any tangents from happening.
Bad baseline.
Actually, I was called something similar, actually, back in my single days. More like MC Meat.
I was still DJ Luck.
You get anything, mate.
Yeah, that was a jokey.
So, Cena, R-Truth.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to say, a lot of people hate this, and justifiably so. But
I think it's a fine little
I agree.
side quest.
I agree. This is not that usual.
I know people are like, no, we could have had John Cena versus Gunther. Well, that's not happening right now, is it?
You might still get it, yeah. I don't think it's a waste in the way that a lot of people do.
And a babyface thing, when he eventually turns back babyface, it's potentially him saying, I'll do more dates than I was going to do.
Maybe, yeah, maybe the dates is a bit of a red herring. I don't know, but I think it's our true thing. I think it's...
WWE might have enough money to pay him for a few more. That's all I'm saying.
The thing is, here's... Not a lot of people are brave enough to say this. I am 100% right in all my takes on John Cena. I am also 100% wrong. That's the duality of John Cena. I was right, and would defend my own right to say it, that they go with Randy Orton in St. Louis at Backlash.
Yep, absolutely.
Match sucked ass.
That's what we anticipated.
I believe I am right in my belief that they pay off this John Cena R-Truth thing, and that
Oh yeah, you called it exactly.
enough of a section of fans care about that this will get some heat on the night, and it will be weird. And it's good to look at weird stuff, because if you're putting John Cena in serious situations, the matches aren't delivering. So maybe go weird, and then when it doesn't deliver, well, it's like, well, it didn't deliver and it was weird, rather than it didn't deliver and it was this high stakes main event thing. I think there's it goes back to my range argument. I think there's always a place for range. And if you look upon this Saturday night's main event card, that Raw tag match is the one with the meat and the heft. Jey Uso will defeat Logan Paul. John Cena and R-Truth is weird. It's your weirdness quota, right? So I believe in it. It's going to be crap. That isn't necessarily...
No, it's not going to be crap. R-Truth's going to do John Cena's moves to John Cena, and it's going to get a huge pap. People are going to go into this in their typical way, and you rant about this a lot, and I agree with you.
Gunther and Pat was the one for me.
People go, this match isn't going to be 5 stars. Well, no.
No.
The match that's going to try and do that will be potentially Tiffany versus Nia, or CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Rollins and Breakker. That's the in-ring quality match. And Jey Uso and Logan Paul aren't going out back there going, follow that mother effers. But they are going to have the entire arena on the side of Jey Uso.
The argument...
Same with R-Truth. Come on, do it for you. He deserves a world title, that bloke. Huh? The amount of time you spent in this company.
I think, and I get this, I think when there's debates about this, from people that are debating it in good faith anyway, is that the output of R-Truth and John Cena simply will not be good. There will be no version of good. And that's where I disagree. I think, and I think we're probably on the same page. I think the version of good that is something that will be entertained by. There are some people, and they have their rights to think that, will just think, no, even your so-called comedy or R-Truth taking John Cena's spots, it's still bad. And I think that's the only place at which there's disagreement, is like whether or not you think that end product can be good. I do, but loads of people won't. Jey Uso's the example of this. Like, Jey Uso, World Heavyweight Champion. Jey Uso, big star, ultimately, you can apply this to. Him being on the card equals good to loads of people. Been in buildings going, yeet. Or like kind of the more contemporary yeet is more of a, like how...
Yeet. Enjoy it while you can. He's probably getting cashed in on in about a month's time.
The experience of it, I think, outstrips the need for the match to be good, personally. But I get why people are like, well, actually, Jey Uso stinks. Like, he's had like 2 good matches, singles matches ever. So that, like, the John Cena R-Truth thing is a similar debate. I think and it's a debate you're going to get more in WWE, because they like to lean into matches like that. But then it's because sometimes they go right and they go better than people expect. And this Pat McAfee Gunther thing, I think, is a good example of that. The more the week has gone on from Backlash, I think the more the praise has trickled through for that match, rather than the criticism from the people that were watching live, or the people that had the stopwatch out and thought Gunther was in there too long, or anything like that. I think WWE is the place where you can do this, and I will be seated for a short but sort of kind of unique payoff to this long-standing gag. And there is a bit of lore, which was where I started with this, is that the last time John Cena and R-Truth had their thing, R-Truth was smoking.
Smoking now? Cigarettes that you can legally buy in shops.
Was also the last little thing for John Cena to do back in 2011, this was, before Money in the Bank. It was the last thing he did before the CM Punk story, was that R-Truth thing. Because if you recall, R-Truth wins a tables match over John Cena. And that's when CM Punk sits on the ramp and says he hopes...
While you're sitting there, I can still almost go over verbatim, because it was incredible. Yeah, do you think they're delaying, because we talked about this on the news the other day, Cena Punk till SummerSlam, because people have said like, oh, I'll do it Money in the Bank law, but they need big matches. They're probably doing Goldberg. They've got some amazing women's matches coming up. Bayley, Becky Lynch, obviously being one of them. Evolution potentially on the cards too. But do you think they do, that at SummerSlam?
We've booked it in about 50 different spots, haven't we? Cena and Punk. I think somebody in the comments last week, I do read them, and you discover some stuff, and you learn some stuff, and that's okay. When you're nice about it. Somebody was like, these asshole loser creep heads booking there for December. You want to go Reyes or whatever it is they say.
Yeah, that's what they say.
I could, since you mentioned it, I could totally see it main event in one of the nights of SummerSlam, because I'd mentioned about the WrestleMania 29 MetLife law of CM Punk not headlining that show and getting the Dare Man instead. But it's a mini WrestleMania, isn't it? You need big ass stuff. They need to be looking towards some, as they have done, I think, in the Triple H run. I think he has made those big fours the tent poles, and once one finishes, you immediately start looking forward to the next one. This year, especially because you potentially don't have to fantasy book a War Games, they're in that San Diego baseball stadium.
Oh my God.
We'll see you there. They're at San Diego baseball stadium, so without the need to think about teams coming together, you can think about, well, what's going to be the big match for that show? And SummerSlam the same, 2 nights. Gunther Goldberg. Cena having the belt is, if nothing else, a great advantage for that, because you could basically pull like the Rolodex of the big names out, and versus John Cena for the WWE title is a night 2 main event, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes getting a rematch. CM Punk finally getting a shot one-on-one. Roman Reigns, but with a dynamic switch now with Roman as the babyface and Cena as the heel. Like, there are several different major matches, especially with Cena as the villain of the piece, that are kind of brand spanking new and would suit as a headline. So Punk's as good a shout as anybody.
But yeah, this R-Truth thing is not going to take up too much time. It's going to be like a,
2 weeks? And on that, actually, that's the point. No Cena tonight. R-Truth's there, heartbroken. He's probably just tired from the match. And Jimmy,
he could talk to John Cena because he can't see him and he thinks he's there.
Very good. He's got John Cena who he can't see, but he's there. But then little Jimmy's also there, and he's like, guys, stop fighting.
Yeah.
We can sort this out.
Separate them.
And then little Jimmy's like, whatever. And then Big Jim comes over and says, Ron.
Big Jim and little Jimmy could be very funny.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be funny, but you know.
Ron, I don't think you're well, mate. Like, we all saw what happened. And he's like, I know, but look, we're talking it through. And Big Jim's like, there's nobody there. And Archer's like, now you're on this as well. Leave me alone. And then you get the match. Short TV builds. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm into it. Mini stories. Like Pat McAfee and Gunther, Dunsky, one of the best things this year.
Yeah.
From beginning to middle to end to match. Like, I'll take this with R-Truth and John Cena. I don't think it's like when there's so much wrestling and when there's so much WWE real estate, whose time are you really killing with this?
R-Truth hypes it up this week. They've got a lot of stuff going on. We'll talk about Money in the Bank qualifiers in due course. And then next week, John Cena eviscerates Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Thinks he's got one over him, and then that's going to make the near fall at Saturday Night's Main Event all the more impactful, I reckon. Sticking with more fallout from Backlash, Jeff Cobb's here now.
Oh, yeah.
And Jacob Fatu's the best. Saw another great promo of him, kind of corpsing Solo, walking backstage. Don't walk their asses, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And but now Solo's like, you're not the only sort of animal I can unleash on people. I think further division for this new bloodline, because Jacob Fatu's like, I didn't need your help.
They weren't subtle about it, were they, at Backlash? But I didn't mind that because this was I think I used this example as this match as the example of WWE telling you, right, cheer him now. We're not going to fight this. We're not going to fight him getting cheered. Yes, he's going to monster some baby faces still, but ideally it might be a baby face like an LA Knight who feels like there might be a heel turn lingering in the background, and those are the baby faces to beat. We've always said that. Jacob Fatu now going on this dominant run and increasingly doing it by himself more than with the help of this stable as more heels return around Solo. So you got Jeff Cobb. At some point, Tama Tonga's going to be back. At some point, Tonga Loa is going to be back. And Solo's like, "Wait, we're an army, aren't we, us?" And Jake's like, "Oh, I've got this. We're an army, aren't we, us?"
I'm at the front.
Desperate attempt to consolidate power because he's just lost it completely. The power is gone.
We retained the US title.
Yeah.
We didn't. I did.
It's an unexpected, I would say, little sub-bloodline treat that I didn't think they were capable of doing after Roman beat Solo on the Netflix Raw. I did not think there was a way back for this group. And look, maybe there won't be, but they showed you enough plot and a new wrestler to have it in them to, like, this. Again, you talk about SummerSlam cards. This gets to SummerSlam, I think.
Yeah.
Jacob and Solo.
Yeah.
SummerSlam. Or Jacob and Jeff Cobb. SummerSlam. Like, there is a singles match for that belt that relies on the next, 3 months of storytelling. You can get that with this group.
Before we move past Backlash, quick mention of Randy Orton, who not only obviously lost to John Cena, he put his hands on the SmackDown GM, and all signs seems to point to a match between the two of them at SummerSlam as well.
I can't remember the guy's name, which is going to be really unhelpful if he does make it onto one of these PLE shows and we need to preview it. We'll have to get Sedge back in. He always remembers.
Yeah, he's good with that sort of thing.
I actually saw a tweet of his yesterday, a post of SmackDown GMs, and it was when he was Aladdin, like a pantomime, and he was just talking about like what a cool experience it was. Yeah, man after your own heart, like loves pantomime. And I was just he was a genie. He's all like jacked up and that. And I was thinking, well, yeah, if I had 3 wishes, I'd just wish for like unlimited wishes where I can finally remember your bloody name. I'd wish for a better memory. I like this. I liked it when he hit him for the second time and they paid it off as like, well, you remember when I told you I was going to do that? Yeah. Kind of that one was paid up with square, right? Like, I like this. I think it's an interesting. Christ, SmackDown GM can't remember his name versus Randy Orton. Asked me this 5 years ago. I'd have flipped the table and knocked you out. Like, I don't want to watch any of that. Then
maybe they bring it up. It's not going to be tonight. Obviously, I think Randy Orton's going to be away, and SmackDown GM's probably going to have more than enough on his hands with this Money in the Bank qualifying stuff. But when it goes to 2 hours, they might just openly acknowledge it. I've got less work now, so I've free time to kick your ass.
Yeah, I've been training under this suit. I'm jacked. Like, I'm ready to go. The match, like Orton and Cena, real bad, stunk so bad.
What people were expecting.
Well, not much more than we got, but it has made me question for the first time since he returned at Survivor Series 2023. How much I love Randy Orton when we did that down the camera.
Oh, yeah.
He was just really in the mood.
Bigger his arms.
Knowing full well his pop was going to get gobbled up by somebody else's. Oh, well.
That was a nice, that backstage footage of Punk there saying hello to everyone when he first showed up. Like, Orton's just like, I can't have 5 minutes, can I?
Can't let me have one. They've told a story here. This ends up with a match between the two, or the SmackDown GM, it's at the start of some sort of heel turn for him, or maybe a heel turn for Orton. Like, it's not without avenues that this could take.
Yeah, they've talking about Cody's year being planned out. You feel like that's going to be part of one of these side quests.
That's good. And there's
from the title.
Yeah, there's history. But like Cody might want to be like, come on, leave me alone. Like we go back a long way, me and him. So yeah.
Speaking of returns, though, we also saw last week on SmackDown. We didn't have a chance to review it, but Alexa Bliss is back. She partnered with Zelina Vega against the Secret Service. Chelsea Green. Get her Money in the Bank. We'll talk about that. But she also had a little bit of a run-in. Let's go have a chat with Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. This is all very strange, but I am not interested. It was in Ohio, wasn't it?
OH.
So she got a massive part.
I-O. That's what they say.
That's when you sing in the start of David Otunga's theme, isn't it? I assumed, I think like everybody, that it was going to be the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
When she did return. They're nowhere in sight. That Bond is nowhere in sight, other than when she's holding the Lily doll and you want to press the button, don't you?
I don't think we've still got it. I think it's on my phone somewhere.
Oh, is it on your phone? All right. If you can find it, that'd be good. If not, we'll just have a fart.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Alexa Bliss. I'm tired this week, you know. You can't outrun jet lag, can you?
No.
I've not been sleeping well at all. Like weird sleep.
No, it's not. I think
What
it's
was
scripts.
that?
I think.
Hold scripts. We'll have a bit of scripts instead.
How do we do scripts?
Hold it up to the mic.
Was it like, which one was it? This one? No, it can't be this.
Dear Axiom,
Sounds like thingy from Family Guy.
Yeah, it does. It's Baby from Family Guy. Stuart.
Is it this one?
Is that just a second Dear Axiom?
What did we do? What was the... Oh, is it this one, actually? It was.
Dear Axiom, I do not lurk in the shadows to intimidate. My riddles are questions to educate.
I miss him.
Oh, man. Love you. Friend of the channel.
Yeah, shout out to Sydney, yeah.
Good egg.
Bumped into him in Vegas.
Good egg. Scripts was funny. Yeah, Alexa Bliss, weird. Loads of stuff and nothing.
To go straight into like a Charlotte thing's interesting.
Well, like, put with Zelina Vega, and women do be staring at belts in WWE right now. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's like, oh, maybe I want the US title. But then, yes, to go into something with Charlotte Flair, where Charlotte Flair is probably going to be like, are you sick of all these new ones coming in? Remember we were the best. Why aren't we the best anymore? And then, I'm not. Let's have a feud. And then the Wyatt
Both
Six
cost each other in Money in the Bank?
Yeah, possibly. And then she comes back right at this time to go into Money in the Bank to win.
Done it before.
Mm-hmm. It's not great booking right now because it's, you're at the start of several potential stories. But I think the thing with Alexa Bliss is you need to see if it's like a consistent return of the character. She is already, you can tell, like her overness is suffering somewhat from being brought back and then going again, being brought back and going again. What needs to happen now?
In-ring's not a problem.
Not really. Like, what needs to happen now is a consistent run of dates, of things, of motivations.
We all anticipate she comes in, does some stuff, and then is interrupted by the Wyatt Six involvement.
Yeah.
So you can easily just have a, like
unless that's been dropped.
Bring her back, put her in Money in the Bank, her and Charlotte in the build, basically being like, it's between you and me, probably this, and Chelsea Green should win the whole thing, obviously. But then you can do Charlotte versus Alexa, and if Charlotte's not going to lose again, you just have the Wyatt Six pick her up at her lowest ebb, for example. I've come back and I've lost my first big singles match.
Yeah. Or
they help her win.
I was going to say, like with Chad Gable, you could go, where's Charlotte Flair? It doesn't come out, play the music again. She's on that here. Cameron's pant at the back, she had her head blown off. Like,
she'll get better. She'll be back next week.
Chad Gable came back, he was fine eventually. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do with Alexa Bliss. Big fan of hers. And obviously, you had the Charlotte thing last week. She was like, piss off if you're going to say this, be nasty about me. Show me some damn respect. Then there was a tease of her and Jade Cargill. That is a huge match down the line. It is a big match,
yeah. Might not be a good one, but it's a big one.
Jade's problems are not over. I don't know if they shoot fight like Tiff and Charlotte did. I will be seated again. Jade's problems with Naomi aren't over. She cost her the number one contendership. Nia Jax is number one contender. That feels far more of a Saturday night's main event than a PLE sort of match. Big goings on in the women's division.
Yeah, I think the SmackDown one's been fine for a while. And the Raw one's looking better. The women's division's in an all right state at the moment. Women's wrestling, I feel like, is...
NXT's the best.
Well, and they've been telling you for years, every week, several times on a show. The women's...
It's almost where the best wrestle. That's what I'd say about NXT.
You should write that down. It's good. You just come up with that.
Yeah, just off the top of the old noggin.
That's strong stuff. I like that. Like, I suppose if another company had come up with that, I'd probably heard it talked about somewhere.
God, I missed the Raw riddle. Remember that?
Well, yeah, I miss it too. Feedback was net positive. That was definitely more for us. Did you like the Raw riddle? Let us know in the SmackDown comments. Anyway, what are we talking about? Women's wrestling is...
Nia Jax, Jade Cargill, Naomi.
Decent health on SmackDown, decent health on Raw, decent health on AEW. We're the best wrestling in NXT. Let's keep that. It just feels like North American mainstream this year has pivoted sharply at long last in the favour of these women's divisions and not before time. And cynically, AEW obviously want to... I use the analogy of fixing a bunch of leaks. Like they would always do a match and they would think, oh, all it was doing was plugging one leak and the water was coming through everywhere else and all the women were drowning subsequently. Not now. Like they've kind of really done a proper review of it and they've in fact just actually stopped the water coming through rather than worried about plugging the gaps. And now you're seeing a bunch, to keep the water analogy going, the tide's still rising, but it's raising all the ships being human beings.
Right, yep, got it.
You got it, yeah?
I think I'm with you.
Yeah. I'm so tired. I've been trying not to yawn this entire time, and it's not because I'm bored by you or SmackDown. I am so tired. I'm like having this thing where I'll go to sleep at a normal time, like maybe sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I'll just wake up, bolt awake at 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've got like, for the first time ever, the otherwise exceptional Sleepy podcast. Try it yourself if you have trouble sleeping, where this man with this like incredibly deep voice just reads quite boring stories. And it's great. Like, and you just drop off to sleep. Even that hasn't worked. And then the problem is that, like, well, you know what might knock me out? Exhilarating basketball. So I'll stick the playoffs on for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm in the fourth quarter. It's like, And then I'll get up early, like my alarm will go off, and I get eye bleeding feeling. And then my train's been cancelled twice this week, and I could have had like an extra hour in bed. And it's just, God damn it. Like, I need normality. Starting Sunday, because I'm going to see Kylie Minogue tomorrow. So I'm going to get faced, mate. Sorry.
You should be so lucky.
Last one. I'm going to get absolutely blotto in the Kylie verse. It's like a sort of...
Eurovision tomorrow night as well.
Big for you.
Big.
That's your
Less
Kylie.
so now I've got Eric.
Really?
Well, yeah, because normally we do the exact same thing you're going to be doing at Kylie.
Oh, just
drinking game. The game is keep drinking to get through the Eurovision.
if somebody sings a song, drink.
Yeah, it's bad, but I'll have a few tipples on tomorrow.
Eric. No, because, right,
I have been playing him some, like, Daddy Freyer or Little Big, some, like, classic Eurovision.
Katrina and the Waves?
Not so much, but yes, there's some...
You could do a drinking game with Eric because, right? Try this one.
Not 5. Blue had a great Eurovision song.
What was the one from...
I can, I will.
Was that the Eurovision one? I remember that song.
I can untie these... Blue.
It's Blue, the Blue brand. Roman had that for a bit, didn't he? Was it one of the WrestleManias? I can, I will. He didn't.
Yeah. No one cares.
There was a I want to say 96, maybe that might have been Gina G.
Oh, just a little bit.
A little bit more. But it was either 95, 96, or 97. It was right. 97 was maybe when... 97 was Katrina and the Waves won it. So 96, I reckon, was... what were they called? It was called something like Fun City Blues or something. In the morning, in the sunlight, all on your body, I'm really making love now. And it was controversial because it was too sexual and it was too...
Love City Groove.
Love City Groove.
With the song Love City Groove.
All on your body, and we're really making love now. It was... it did not satisfy the metropolitan liberal elite that typically enjoyed Eurovision, but it was... young people enjoyed it.
Shout out Sam Ryder. Brilliant enter.
Oh, God. For us. My wife and kids love that guy. That song doesn't sit right with me because it's weird. He has his cake and he has his space and eats it too. Because he's talking about like he needs space, man. Space, comma, man. It's because life's hard and life's busy and it's like, there's nothing but space, comma, man. And I want to go home. And like over the course of the song, he realizes that like the space he thought he needed wasn't what he needed, and he needs to return home. And maybe it's something to do with like, it's just been kids been keeping up all night, and he just wanted a night of premiere or something. But like, I need my space, man. And then he goes, I'm back. Been through some black house, nothing but space, man. I want to go home. And he's realized actually, I'll take the sleepless nights because I've got the love of like whatever. I don't know.
An alien.
Halfway through, like he gets a bit obsessed with the spaceman bit, and it's actually about traveling through space. It's like, oh my God, there's Jupiter, and an alien is over there. It's like, which is it?
Yeah,
like,
what are we doing here?
Well, how many spacemen are you? It troubles me that.
But in terms of returning back to wrestling, you got to speed it up. And sometimes you got to slow it down when you're in there, particularly if you're one half of the former NXT Tag Team Champions, I suppose, that being Axiom. And Nathan Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
They beat the tag champs last week.
Well,
and then they're fighting with DIY and Metal City Machine Guns. This is awesome.
there was a lot of debate, wasn't there, last year, as if they were whether or not that these two were the tag team of the year or not.
There wasn't much debate.
Well, I definitely think they were, because I watched a lot of those Dynamite matches, and those Bucks ones were lacking a bit of fizz. Tied it together for you.
Good work.
People just think this is a land of make-believe. No, that's it. What are we talking about? Fraxiom.
I just wanted to mention the fact they beat the tag champs, and they can
They're
go
here.
off and work with DIY. It feels like they're not hanging about, are
They're
they?
just here. They're just here on SmackDown. They are part of the furniture already, but I mean that in a good way rather than a negative way. The division desperately needed, both shows needed sort of like just some fresh faces, some new wrestlers to mix things up a little bit. And the cool thing right now is that Fraxiom are fine. There hasn't been the need to bring with them the NXT story.
Yes.
Because they can pick that up whenever they want.
Absolutely.
And then just extend the time on it. So it's like, we got the main roster call up, and it turned out that like we were simpatico because we were living this amazing opportunity together. When it gets back to the days when they start beating each other up by accident in matches, you can then say, this happened for about a year.
Split up teams.
Yeah, this happened for about a year in NXT, and we just about held it together. No, I like them being on SmackDown a lot. The tag division has not been, in my opinion, followed up on well enough following TLC. Very un-WWE to not give...
I disagree. I think you had the week before, you had the package celebrating it, and presumably with what happened last week, them saying, well, everyone's still recovering.
True. Actually, you beat...
they salvaged it. I agreed up until last week's SmackDown when they sort of went, here's the reason why.
Maybe it's beating the champions at a point where they're kind of like... It's a bit of a tightrope, this tag division stuff. They could easily fall off again. But maybe not. You go back to the 2-hour format in June and the cream rises to the top. You can't, there isn't the TV time to just make space for everybody. Space, man, for everybody. So you've got to kind of prove yourself now while there is that wiggle room. And then when we're down to 2 hours, it's like, right, who are the tag teams that are actually making it count? I think, not to be cruel and pick on people, but I think the Creeds and the Viking Raiders on Raw was a perfect example of you just gotta want it more.
Yeah.
Creative wrestlers, everybody, if you're in it, go out there and show people that you're in it. And I think this is an opportunity for Fraxiom more than any other teams to do that. So that's something.
Finally, we've been alluding to it throughout this podcast. It's the beginnings of the Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight. Chelsea Green should be in this without question. What are your thoughts on other people being involved? Would you put Aleister Black in there, considering what he's been doing recently? And he's very set and determined. No more riddles, no more messing about. Just kicking Miz's head off on a weekly basis.
I would put him in there, and I would also put Carmelo Hayes in there too. Maybe he can try and lasso the case with Dre.
Good.
Take it from around his neck and try and get it.
Yeah, Melo's a good shout.
Yeah.
I don't think the winner of the women's Money in the Bank, as I've said and keep saying, comes from SmackDown. Chelsea Green, no brainer, genuinely for me. I love so many talented women, but this is what the Money in the Bank briefcase was made for. Someone like her as a conduit to quite rightly put her past the mid card and
moving up.
Yeah. I think the men's one winner probably comes from Raw. Bron Breakker, Sami Zayn, something like that. Nevertheless, you've got some incredibly talented individuals. Ray Phoenix's name pops up for me here. You could put LA Knight in there as another way to justify or he loses a qualifier potentially as well. I wouldn't have Cody anywhere near it.
No, I don't want that. I could see why they would go down that route, but I think it's more fun when the prospect of the winner is a first-time world champion as well. That's part of the excitement when somebody holds that briefcase at the end of one of those matches, is you get to look and visualize the possibility of that wrestler who's never held a world title actually getting it done. I watched, I think it was for something I was working on. I watched back Liv Morgan's Money in the Bank ladder match win, and the last person she knocks off is Becky Lynch. And the crowd going nuts. And this is kind of white meat babyface Liv Morgan era before she became Livy Omega. But the crowd that have kind of fallen for her are so keen to see her win the belt that just her holding the briefcase feels like a title win. Yeah. You get that less when ex-champions win it.
I agree.
That's the reality of it. So I'm all in favour of someone like a Chelsea Green, someone like for me it's Sami Zayn, but Bron Breakker, the same kind of pitch, same but different really. So yeah, into it.
And I know you bemoan this, but I quite like it as a a way to go about this. Triple threat qualifiers.
Yeah, that's
because you could have. I was just looking at. You could have LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
they've still got problems. One of them's obviously going to be in Money in the Bank. One would assume. You could have Andrade mixing it up with Santos, mixing it up with Rey Fenix, for example. Don't know why Triple H would book all them in the same match together, but I sense it would happen. Yeah. Meanwhile, Naomi, Jade Cargill, etc. That side of things.
This is the one benefit, if you want to call it that, of this 3-hour run, is that there has been a lot more wrestlers. I wouldn't say necessarily well used, but certainly featured. Like the rosters are like full enough, and only getting fuller based on people getting signed.
Naomi versus Jade Cargill, not necessarily tonight, but in the road to Money in the Bank, because I love it. It's one of my favorite PLEs. Naomi versus Jade Cargill versus a returning Bianca Belair.
Love that. Who has said she's got business to do on SmackDown, and we are kind of eagerly awaiting that business to be done.
And, of course, Nathan Fraser versus Axiom versus someone else who inevitably wins because they collide with each other.
Yeah, why not?
Anyone else that we got on this?
What, from the SmackDown side?
Yeah.
I suppose you've got to say Andrade. Feels like it's in everybody's contract to be like, could this be his year? No. But he feels like a guy that they might just try and say, well, he's in the match. Is that anything?
What if Solo tries to get in there?
I was going to say Jeff Cobb before, but maybe Solo's the one, yeah. Maybe Solo is like, well, now you've got that. I can get on with the business of this.
Winning a real title. What?
Excuse me? You can help me, right? You can get me up that ladder. You love me, Jacob, right? Well, then you want to help me get up that ladder. So, Solo would be a good one for it. Qualifier, at least. Who else is on SmackDown these days?
I think that we've covered off quite a lot of the people there.
Yeah.
You got the outside of people, if you want to, like Tez, it'll always be amazing in a Money in the Bank match, but he's busy doing tag team stuff.
I'm with you in the women as well. Chelsea Green for me. Yeah. Has to be. She took that bump last year, so they've even done a bit of a thing where it's close, but so far.
And you've got people literally who can carry the briefcase for her.
Yeah, that's nice.
It just makes all the sense in the world. But let us know your thoughts on Money in the Bank and on SmackDown tonight in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Wrestle Culture coming your way later on today, of course, and we'll be back on Monday to review SmackDown. You can follow us on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there. Follow both of us. Follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. But for now, this has been the SmackDown Preview, where we talk about what's next for John Cena and R-Truth. Nia Jax being the number one contender. Alexa Bliss is back. There's Money in the Bank qualifiers. And tonight, it's all the fallout from Backlash.
The SmackDown Preview. It's got all this and the Newcastle leg of Kylie's tour.
Come on, Chesterfield. We'll see you soon.